Hello, Bravo bosses. This is the Bravo Investigator podcast. I'm your host, Dana, and today we are talking about all of the summer house silliness from the past few days. Let's get into it. Happy Monday, everyone. I hope everyone had a great weekend and are having a great start to your week. I am having a pretty shitty week that's coming up. I'm going to be in training basically all week, 9 to 5. So, not going to be a great time for me, but that's okay. I'm happy to be talking to you guys today. And I'm just excited to be talking Summer House because I just sort of feel like, we typically do our reality roundup on Mondays. We talk everything in the Bravo sphere. We talk Love is Blind. We talk Teen Mom. We talk it all. But all that really has mattered over the past, I don't know, 2 months has been Summer House. So I feel like, you know what? There has been so much Summer House news over the past few days that it has been, quite frankly, really hard to keep up, but I have been doing my damnedest. And I figured, you know what? There's been so much going on. We might as well just do an entire episode about all of the Summer House updates that have happened since our last Summer House updates. So if you caught the episodes this week, we had Monday, Be True Hollywood Story, which is my limited series that I do, where I talk about how a Bravo Leb got to where they are today, from birth to scandal to stardom and everywhere in between. So Monday's episode was Amanda Batula, and thank you guys so much for listening to it and the positive feedback. That makes me really, really happy. And then on Wednesday, I gave you guys a Summer House recap, as well as KJ on Watch What Happens Live. We recapped that, and we talked all of the Scamanda updates, or West TD, or whatever you want to call them, updates that had happened basically from Sunday to Wednesday. And then right after that, there was a whole smear of events that have happened, between rumors that West Wilson and Jenn Fessler have hooked up, Carl and Lindsay really getting along, and there's just like quite a bit to talk about. So I figured, let's just do an entire episode on all of the things that have happened over the past few days within the Summer House sphere. So it all started Oh God, you guys, I cannot believe how much is going on. But I guess it all started with the last episode that aired Tuesday night. So as I said, we did our updates on Wednesday, but subsequent to that, Michael Rappaport had a few things to say about Lindsay Hubbard. Now, we don't like Michael Rappaport. We know he's a piece of shit, and, he just tries to create chaos wherever he is. But I figured, you know what? Let's talk about this, because this is within the Summer House realm, and we know our Lindsay Hubbard. We know that she loves to get activated. And one thing she definitely got activated about was Michael Rappaport. So I'm going to play the clip of Michael Rappaport talking about how he believes that Lindsay Hubbard is overrated.
Full transparency. My counsel advised me not to say what I'm about to say. This is a hot take on Lindsay Hubbard and Summer House. I was advised not to even speak on this as a straight, cis, white male. However, I can't be silenced. I won't be silenced. Currently, and I say this with all due respect, I know your history. I know you were left at the altar. I know you're a queen. Old Mother Hubbard, young Mother Hubbard, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to get myself into trouble before I even make my hot take. It currently is Lindsay Hubbard, the most overrated person on Bravo. Respectfully, it's been 2 years since Carl left you at the altar, and I was with you then. It's been 2 years. Is it time to let it go? Lindsay's entire storyline for the last 2 seasons has been Carl, and Carl, hating Carl's mom, hating to hug. What else you got, Lindsay? Respectfully, she's been minding Carl's business. She's been minding Amanda and Kyle's business. What about you, Lindsay? Again, respectfully, I know this is a hot take. I know people like, she's a queen. Yes, she's a queen. She's all those things. But what have you done for me lately? Ooh, Lindsay. Full train.
Okay, this guy, I can't. So Lindsay Hubbard obviously clapped back, and this is what she had to say. She said, "Dear Michael Rappaport, if you want to say something, turn your effing comments on," Hubbard said into the camera. "Don't be a little bitch. You don't want to do that. If you want to start a media war, happy to go to war with you." She then reminded him that he's an old white guy who's making comments about a much younger single mom. "Did you forget that I had a baby? Did you think that my only storyline in the last 2 years has been my ex? Okay, maybe keep watching. You'll see a very long overdue conversation coming up between Carl and I, and you'll learn a lot. But overrated? I still have a lot more years to come, baby," she snarked. She captioned the video, "Dear at Michael Rappaport, I don't like it when old white men pick on younger women. Get a life, brother." Now, we hate Michael Rappaport, right? And I completely disagree with him about Lindsay being overrated. If anything, she's underrated. But I do think that this year has been a struggle for her in terms of coming up with a storyline. She hasn't really been there this entire season, so that's makes it harder to have a storyline. And yeah, is she getting really involved in other people's business, like with Carl or with Amanda and Kyle? Yeah, but I don't hate it because, while it may be really inappropriate to get that involved in your friends' relationships, this show is different. This is a show about people who are very, very close to each other, who spend a lot of time together. And the concept of the show is to get involved in other people's business. So, that being said, if that's her storyline this year, to sort of be like the Mother Hubbard and to try to rectify any conflicts that are going on in the house, I'm okay with it. I'm here for it. It fits right into her Mother Hubbard personality with her being a mom and everything. And you know what? Not everyone has a storyline every year, right? I mean, a storyline is really just your life, and not everybody has a lot going on every single year of their life. We've seen that happen on many shows where we'll say, "Oh, so and so doesn't have a storyline," but the storyline is just their life. And maybe this year they don't have a lot going on. But that being said, I really enjoyed Lindsay this season. I really liked her getting in the mix and getting really involved in other people's relationships. I'm sorry, I just do. She has more context than the majority of the other people in the house. So I don't really hate her doing that. I do find it, I will admit, a bit cringy when she keeps coming for Carl because it does feel odd when she has said repeatedly that she has no feelings for him. She doesn't care about him. She wouldn't even give a shit if Bailey dated him, yet she is bringing him up constantly. Now, I think she's bringing him up in order to have a storyline and in order to try to stay within the mix. But in her real life outside of the show, I don't think she ever does think about Carl or has any real, connection to him in any real way. But I feel like she's really trying to put that on and to talk about him more because you're on TV and that's the idea, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So then there was this Vulture event the other day because there was this Vulture piece that came out that was talking about all of these really hot reality stars these days. Lindsay was one of those people. So was Nick Vile, which is gross. But they hosted this big party. And at the party, Kyle was DJing, and Carl and Lindsay and Kyle were dancing together, jumping up and down at the DJ booth, and just having like the best time. And it is so bizarre and odd to see Carl and Lindsay like that. It's these moments that are few and far between them where they seem to be having a really good time together and enjoying each other's company. But whenever we see it, we can't stop. We can't help but stop and stare because it just feels so inorganic in a way to see them enjoying life together. And then we also, right before that, Kyle had another street interview with Adam Glynn from the Hollywood Raw podcast. I'm not sure if Adam Glynn sets up these interviews with Kyle on the street or just randomly runs into him all the time. Like, I'm not really quite sure. But in this interview, we get a little bit more from Kyle about how he feels towards West and his nudes and things like that. So I'm going to play that clip for you guys right now. Just give me one sec.
You're DJing, right? I just DJ Vulture Party. I'm sorry. What's the name of your film? I do both. I do. Yeah, let me ask you. Last time I got you, Carl's a mess. How is Loverboy doing? Well, it's been a month. Yeah, that Carl's a mess thing. It's funny what that little soundbite ended up going viral. Loverboy is in a much better place just simply because we were able to do a bunch of pre-sales and do all the support that we were able to kind of muster up. I think the biggest challenge we're up against is you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
And we not only do I have this SBA loan, we had like $600,000 of like debt.
Yeah.
So that's like account payables that I have to basically cover to get production up and running. That's get too complicated.
But it's in a good place.
It's in a much better place. But honestly, like the continued support is helping turn this thing around. We were in a really tight spot. Like I was pushing, to like put this thing in bankruptcy. I mean, it was like dire straits.
Yeah.
So I mean, people, cruise the site, buy anything and everything they can. There's very limited stock on the website. Has been so helpful. I can't even tell you.
What would you do if it did, you had to close up shop? What do you think you'd do? Would you go back
I then have to find a totally different way to pay off this $3 million loan. So, I mean, it's not pretty. No, like I said, I mean, it was like, that's like the ultimate, like last resort.
Yeah.
But I was trying to educate myself on what that process is when all this happened.
Well, the good part is the company's doing well at the moment right now. We've seen people supporting you. I was doing purchasing well.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we built the brand around the fans, and the fans have continued to come through, and that's what it takes.
Yeah,
you need people asking for the products and to sell the products.
Let me ask this about the West Wilson. He's in the news this week because his Johnson. There was a nude pic reveal of him. Did you see the photo?
It was sent to me before the reunion. I think he found out about it at the reunion. So, I mean, you had a rough 24 hours between some family stuff. Obviously, take a big leap, and then obviously you learn to the reunion. But it was not a big I'd be passing around.
Yeah,
I think he said it was the leak, but I'm like, you'd have to leak it.
Yeah. Can you compare to that? Did you feel like you're comparable? Like
I would just maybe get a little blood flow going before I took the to each their own.
Well, speaking of those, right? What was your love like doing? Last time I saw you were like hanging out with Megan. What's the deal there?
I was like blown out of proportion. She's an amazing lady. Like I just met her that night.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, I was a housewife. I'm like, how 10 years ago, how old are you? She's like, oh, so no, like you were on housewife like a 31-year-old.
Yeah.
We hung out the whole night. I think when whoever got that video, I think when they took it, I was literally talking to her. She had opened up about her like things.
Yeah.
I think she felt really bad. So it's almost like we were like trauma bonding. And then people said I was on my tippy toes. No, I was just wearing baggy pants.
Yeah.
She is tall.
She is tall. You've been hanging out since then now. How are you still single to have hanging out? Yeah.
I actually got to run in there. It's still single. Just having fun.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you.
I have to say that Kyle is, throughout all of this, looking very good. Like this guy almost ages backwards. He is so put together. He doesn't have a hair out of place. And he does really know how to talk to the media. That is something that I have to say because, for a while I thought maybe he wasn't very good at that after the whole Sprit Society debacle. But, I think he did a good job here talking about the Meghan King Edmonds of it all. And I guess that's a nothing burger. But yeah, Kyle, you were definitely on your tippy toes. Him making fun of West's nudes, but even in like kind of a respectful way. I mean, it's just really funny. So then they go to the Vulture event and Reality Nightcap was there and they also talked to Kyle and to Carl. And I'm going to play you guys clips of what both Carl and Kyle had to say at the event to Reality Nightcap. All right, so this is Carl.
I'm not ready to respond. From what I know of what's going on and how he's kind of handling it and how I handle things, like I've also been a shitty person and done stupid things. But I also really, really care how I make people feel. And part of me worries, and I don't think he totally understands still the impact of some of this. We've been over this many times with him, with Sierra and everything, many dinner tables on camera, many seasons, and here we are again. So I don't have a lot of grace for some of it, but I hope he's doing okay. I wish him well, but I can't really hold space for someone like that.
What's really interesting is that it seems that West reached out to a bunch of people because we know he reached out to KJ after the reunion. It seems like he's reached out to Carl. Based on his last podcast clip where he talks about the reunion and how difficult it was and all he can do is try to move forward and be better and that these people are his friends, I think his first attempt is to try to apologize to all of these people post-reunion. But the way that everyone is still really mad and the way that they make it seem as though part of the problem is that West doesn't really have an understanding in terms of what he did wrong, I feel is what's going to really impact these friendships long term. We talk about the show and what this means for the show. And I don't really want to see West on our screens again, to be quite honest with you. I'm not like a big canceling kind of person, but I'm just not interested in seeing him on our screens anymore, quite frankly. And I don't know if the cast is ever going to decide to open up to him again, because it seems like they're more put off by the fact that this happened to begin with and the fact that Wes doesn't really seem to get it. Okay, so this is Kyle talking to Reality Nightcap.
Yeah. I sent him a voice memo because I felt like it was gonna take forever for me to put like words down. I mean, look, I'm not the kind of guy that holds grudges. Obviously, this is a very unfortunate situation. I mean, I don't think people really realize just how close we were. So it's just tough. Like, this is uncharted territory for me. I don't know. Like, I've obviously never gone through something like this, but obviously, I don't even think I have a friend who's gone through something like this. So
Tom Sandoval and
I don't know what the playbook is.
It's very hard, and you and Amanda are simultaneously going through a separation and a divorce.
We're making a pretty valid effort to keep it amicable. Again, I was just kind of at peace with not really trying to tell my side of the story, and it just is what it is. And now that all this, the rumors were confirmed and all that stuff, in a weird way, I tried to be there for him, just because I know like her mental state and just how fragile she is, and the reunion was tough.
Here's the thing, he keeps talking about Amanda's mental health, but Amanda is the one who continues to put herself in situations that are compromising her mental health. Like, she doesn't need to go outside this often with West and say that, hey guys, for my mental health, I need to be going to bars and stuff, and I need to be hanging out in the West Village. So because of that, I'm going to be going out. And then she's smirking and smiling, putting like a scarf over her head and stuff. And like, I don't want to diminish somebody's mental health struggles, because listen, I have them, right? But like, it doesn't really seem like that's her priority right now. So it's hard to really understand why Kyle is making that his priority. I know that this is someone who's been in his life for a decade, and that makes a lot of sense. So obviously he still really cares about her. But at the end of the day, she's in the wrong. And I just don't really have compassion for her mental health when Wes and Amanda didn't have compassion for Sierra's mental health. I mean, Sierra is on Prozac as well. Sierra also struggles with mental health issues just the way that Amanda does. And so to just kind of denounce that and diminish that, no one has once talked about Sierra's mental health in all of this and how she is doing with her mental health. Not even Kyle, right? He's not sitting there saying, I'm really worried about Sierra and her mental health. And while she may seem like she's doing amazing, she's, at the Met Gala, and she's going to be doing Dancing with the Stars and all of these amazing things, just like people said with Ariana, it doesn't mean that she's not hurting, and it doesn't mean that she's not struggling. So I wish that people would, place a little bit more weight on Sierra's mental health, quite frankly. So at the same event, Mia was spoken to about the beach scene between her and Amanda, which was such a wild scene because you have Amanda, this is just in the last episode, you have Amanda talking about how special Sierra is, how obsessed she is with Sierra, how Sierra deserves the absolute best above all else, and that if what's her name? If that Sierra gave her like one look and told her to cut West out with just a look, she absolutely would. And in watching in retrospect, it sort of seems as though Amanda is projecting in some sort of way. So Mia was asked about this on the red carpet, and here's what she had to say.
Say as my spidey senses you were lying. That's all I'll say. I don't trust anyone with that part.
You could almost get a sense of that when you were watching it. Mia's just sitting there being like, okay, yeah. And so I guess her spidey senses were telling her something is off here. The way Amanda is acting and just being like so up Sierra's ass just seems a little bit off. But that's why we love Mia. She is absolutely fucking fire. She is so funny. She is so amazing. So what ended up happening next was Sierra's reunion look dropped. She looked absolutely amazing. I cannot believe that we have not seen the reunion looks for anybody else yet. I guess because everything just happened so like fast and furious, but she looked absolutely amazing. And just like the last time things were announced for Sierra, Amanda decides to drop a picture of her dog. So it just is sort of like a selfie face or like body down kind of thing, just focusing on the dog in the grass. And it just really feels like, again, every time Sierra has a moment, Amanda has to step in with something. West, too, apparently, even though this isn't really on him, but TMZ caught him out in New York City without Amanda. They posted this video of him just like out and about at bars and stuff with Amanda nowhere in sight. And as much as we know that she loves to go outside with him and go to New York City bars, it did seem sort of odd that he was, out and about without her. So that was sort of interesting. Then I'm not really sure how this even like came to be, or I guess it was at the Vulture event. So at the Vulture event, Jenn Fessler from the Real Housewives of New Jersey is asked about Amanda and West. So I'm going to play her video of that. So this is just like her giving her opinion on what's going on with Amanda and West. Hang on, you guys. I'm so sorry. Let me find the video. I have it.
Pretty on this one. Listen, I have a lot of takes on the Summer House scandal. Right to my thank you note. You know what? Better to know now. I love Sierra. Everybody loves Sierra. She's impossible to love. I also love West Wilson. I think he is the cutest, sweetest golden retriever puppy dog. I love him. Like I called him Chimu Benson Boone. It's okay. Like him, but I just it's okay. She's better off, and it's he does not mean any harm. He didn't mean it. He's just trying to have a good time. He doesn't want to hurt anyone. Give him a break. West.
Jen, like Jesus. But if you see this out of context, you're like, okay, this seems sort of strange. Like, why is she so obsessed with him? Like, he didn't mean to hurt anyone. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean what? He didn't mean to sleep with Amanda? Like, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. So right after that came out, Josh the Roni Stan, who has a big account on Instagram and TikTok. I really like his stuff. He posted on Threads. Former Real Housewives of New Jersey friend of Jenn Fessler was asked by Page Six about the Summer House scandal tonight and said this about Wes. Wes is the cutest, sweetest golden retriever puppy dog. He does not mean any harm. He didn't mean it. He's just trying to have a good time. He doesn't want to hurt anyone. Give him a break. And then Josh wrote, girl. Then Sierra ended up commenting on this and wrote, LOL, because they slept together too. What? Wait, what? Everybody kind of took a step back for a second. They're like, wait, is she joking? Is she serious? Like West Wilson from Summer House and Jenn Fessler, friend of from the Real Housewives of New Jersey, who is in her 50s. Is this possible? Is this true? And then someone on Threads wrote, ma'am, I beg your pardon. Ain't that old lady married? Oh, he got a type. And Sierra said, that's what I thought. And then she posts this emoji of basically, it's becoming like kind of a big emoji. It's sort of like a gymnastics emoji where a person is standing, or sorry, like a handstand almost with their legs sort of spread like this up in the air. I don't know what it really means. To me, it's just sort of the same mentality as like the I don't know emoji, or just like doing multiple cartwheels emoji to just sort of signify like, wee, silly things are going on. I don't really know. So then Wes ends up denying it to his Instagram story, and he puts that math meme that is super popular, you know, this meme right here. And he wrote, news to me at Jenn Fessler. Jenn Fessler ends up denying it to Page Six and says, she's also been married since 1999, but she said to Page Six on Friday, it's flattering that anyone would think someone who slept with Sierra Miller would be interested in sleeping with me. That's not really a denial, I'll say that. But I'll also say that it's weird to take this as like a flattery type of thing. Like when someone accuses you of cheating on your husband, to be flattered by it seems like a little bit odd. And then every morning on Threads, Andy says good morning, and people were starting to ask him what he thought about all of this. And he's like, I need to have my tea before I can get into the tea. People were asking him to text Jenn Fessler, and it was just kind of going off. Then Rachel Fessler, who is Jenn Fessler's daughter, commented on Threads, I genuinely feel so bad that you guys believe this. Girl, in this moment, right now, right here, I had believed it, okay? People were coming out of the woodwork with all of these clips that had surfaced and comments that had surfaced of Jenn and Wes, I don't know, being like into each other and all of these things that if you put two and two together made it seem like it actually happened. So here are some of the things that the Bravo sleuths found. So Jenn posted a happy anniversary picture with her husband, captioning, happy 27. You could sleep with West or Amanda and I'd still stay. What? Out of all things in the world to post for your anniversary, you make a joke about West and Amanda? And you make a joke about like sleeping with either of them and you'd still be together? That is just like the wildest caption. Now, again, we didn't know about any of this before. This is just something we're finding out about now. But the caption with this context is just absolutely wild. Then we have this clip of West on Watch What Happens Live talking about being with talking about being with somebody in their late 50s. And we know that Jenn Fessler is 57 years old. So here's West on Watch What Happens Live.
Well, have you ever been with an older gal?
Yeah, it's actually, yeah. One's kind of steep. What? Yeah, the age is. It was like a one-time thing.
Okay. How old was she?
Very old.
How old was she? Was she over 50?
Yeah, but
Was she over 60?
no, not over 60, but like
Okay.
a high five.
Okay. High fives.
High five.
And was that a pleasurable thing for you?
It was weird.
It was weird.
But that's like what is pleasurable.
Okay.
Okay, so, you know, he admits to sleeping with someone in their 50s. We know that Jenn is 57 years old. Then here's Jenn on Watch What Happens Live. She's there with Jackie Goldschneider, and they're being asked about what their hall pass is.
Honestly, Jeff doesn't give two.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to say out of everybody, there's one that I can't take it. Well, I know who it is. Ready?
Captain Jason Chambers.
Like it. 1, 2, 3. Evan Goldschneider.
But you see how Jackie told on it?
Oh my God. Excellent.
So that is so crazy because Jackie is sort of like outing Jenn as like West being her hall pass. That just means that she must talk about like this little crush that she's had on him all the while. Now, this video surfaced that's on Jenn Fessler's own Instagram account. And this is from, I think, like March or April 2024.
Let's go. Tonight was a very special night. Tonight, we West Wilson is an unfortunate situation. West Wilson. But tonight, West Wilson. Tonight, West Wilson. That's enough.
Now, all of the nicknames, I just think that's so hilarious because we've got Messy Fessy, Messy Wessy. We've just got all of these hilarious nicknames that we're talking about in this scandal. We've got West TD, we've got Scamanda, we've got West Mandival. So this messy Wessie just really adds to everything. So that's pretty wild. Then there was this clip that came out from Yacht Mess Pod, which is a podcast with some of the people from Below Deck. And this clip resurfaces where they're talking about West Wilson sleeping with a real housewife. I'm just going to play that.
I think lots of people do. But I do know a housewife who did the deal with him. I will not, I cannot say it. I will narrow it down to it was East Coast. I know it's Jersey because you know Jersey. I know all of them. Whatever. So showing off.
It's crazy, right? Like all of these little bits of evidence just keep coming out. Then there's this picture that surfaces of West, Amanda, Jenn Fessler, and Jesse Solomon. Sorry, guys. It's just making a lot of noise. So Jenn Fessler, West, Amanda, and Jesse Solomon at Watch What Happens Live. And West commented on the photo, writing, "I love you so much." And Jenn Fessler said, "At Westling Conrad, more and always my love." Right? I mean, these things are all just so silly. We know that they're not like having an actual affair, but the fact that there is like this much evidence piling up is like beyond my comprehension. Then somebody posted on Threads that picture of Lisa Barlow on the phone with her lawyer saying, "I'm shaking, I'm physically shaking." And Sierra reposted it and wrote LOL. So she is just like in the mix and just having so much fun with this. Then Jenn Fessler posted a story about this entire rumor. And she said, "In all seriousness, and while I can't help but be a little flattered," again, the flattery is weird, "it is not nice, nor is it okay to post something categorically untrue and defamatory on social media, regardless of whatever rumors or apparent evidence led you to that conclusion. That is the definition of libel. If it were true, I would have no recourse. Because it's a lie, this can get more complicated. Having said that, I hope we can rectify this. It's enough now." Okay, first of all, we'll decide when it's enough. We're having a really good time making fun of you guys and pretending that you're having this long-standing affair. So we will decide when it's enough. But that being said, we're just making like this little tiny baby empty libel threat against Sierra is just absolute bullshit. First of all, we're the ones who ran with it. Sierra just literally made a stupid comment, and who even knows if she truly believed it to be true or not, or if she was just being silly. But regardless, like it just shows like the thirst level is real from Jenn Fessler to try to turn this into like a legal issue. And then Vanita, who is, you know, such an amazing friend to Sierra, she posted a picture of like some boats. And then she wrote, "I think focusing on your marriage of 27 years and practicing loyalty to that should be your main priority, not sending threats via an IG story. But what do I know? Happy Saturday." Gotta love Vanita for always sticking in. And then Sierra ended up posting that emoji again, the handstand emoji. So I think that that's her reaction to Jenn and just being like, fuck this lady. Like, we don't really give a shit. Then if Jenn Fessler could not get any thirstier, like I cannot believe she actually posted this. Then she posted to her story hours later after she made that statement saying, "Hey, like, let's take this down. This isn't true." She wrote, "I'm sorry. I admit it. I used the wrong font." I almost threw up. I almost threw my chair. I'm just like, wait, what? Did she just say, "I admit it"? But then she's talking about the font. Girl, could you be any more thirsty? If you really cared about your marriage and this rumor and the possibility of it ruining your marriage, you would not be posting this thirsty ass shit. It is really, really embarrassing for you that you just did that. Like, I liked Jenn Fessler. I thought she had like a funny sort of air about her. She slept with James Gandolfini. She and her husband were separated for a couple of years when they were both dating other people. So, you know, I always thought she had like kind of a fun mentality to her. But this is just like really, really thirsty and really embarrassing because like, you know, if you really cared about this, you would be taking different actions than just making these jokes about it being flattering and jokes about admitting to it and stuff, right? So we're going to take it as seriously as you're taking it right now. Like, let's be real. Now, in addition to all the messy, wessy stuff going on, it was one of Lindsay's friends' birthdays the other day, and Carl ended up attending the birthday party. And there are all these really cute pictures that surfaced of him being really cute with Gemma. And there's a picture where Lindsay and Carl are standing next to each other with Kyle. And Lindsay is holding Gemma and she's staring up at Carl in this really lovingly sweet way. And like, as much as I know these two are not meant to be together, there was just something about the look in her eye. And there is something about the idea of like, I don't know, crazier shit has happened, right? West and Jenn Fessler, right? Like, if that shit happened, then it wouldn't be so crazy to see Carl and Lindsay get back together and have him become Gemma's stepdad, right? How crazy would that be? But crazier shit has happened. So that's why I'm not even like, putting it out of the realm of possibility. That being said, I really, really want to see Bailey and Carl together. I think they're so cute. And I think that they would make such a fire couple, but I don't know. There's something very nostalgic about Lindsay and Carl. When you go back and you watch old seasons and you see the friendship bond that they really truly had, it's really sad that they weren't able to come back to that. I don't know if they ever will. I really truly don't believe they'll ever get back together, but how wild is it that they are both single at this point in time? Lindsay has her baby. Carl is sober and living his best life, and he has finally created something that is creating like a monetary value, like Soft Bar, right? Originally Lindsay was against it, but now it's actually doing well. So how crazy would it be for them to get back together and for him to raise Gemma as his own? I'm just saying, it would be wild. Okay, one last piece of tea before I let you guys go for the day. So something surfaced from Dumois, and we know that these blinds come out like a dime a dozen when it comes to Wes Wilson. But this one says, but last summer, I was in a bar in Bozeman, Montana, and literally overheard him, meaning West, talking to two other guys about a girl hooking up with an old chick named Jenny, who gave him the most unreal blank, blank, blank in Vegas, but was super fucked when it happened. So he has slept with another old woman named Jenny, right? Like, what are the odds of this? And he said on national television that he slept with a woman in her 50s. He didn't say he slept with more than one woman in her 50s. So I think it's really interesting that he's talking twice about hooking up with an older woman. I think this is possibly true, right? There's a possibility that this shit is true. If it's not, LOL, I think this was a really funny, hilarious weekend when it comes to all of these rumors and nastiness and jokes and things like that. Just because it is such a silly, stupid rumor and just feels like so out of left field and so out of pocket that like, how could this even be true? Like I said, weirder shit has happened, so you never know. But I don't know. I just thought it was such a funny, silly weekend when it came to all of the summer house rumors that I thought it would be just really fun to just focus on that today and talk about that with you guys. But that is the end of the episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. Guys, don't forget I've started a new podcast called All You Need Is You, a guide to living your best solo life. So if you know anyone who's into that kind of thing, please direct them over to All You Need Is You, which you can download wherever you get your podcasts. Oh, and you can follow me, The Bravo Investigator, on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at The Bravo Investigator. Guys, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can watch episodes like today. And if I make it to 1,000 subscribers, I can start to monetize, so I would really appreciate it. And also join the Facebook page. I love you, BBs. I will see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Bravo Investigator podcast. For more content, head over to patreon.com/The Bravo Investigator podcast. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at The Bravo Investigator. If you enjoyed the show, leave a 5-star review. Love you, BBs. See you next time.